Recognizing compliance risks in the project execution phase. Project management bears many challenges, and some of those challenges may include compliance risk. 4 common compliance risks are related to subcontractors, permits, customer decisions, and scrap material. But what can such risks be? How can you identify and avoid them in the project execution phase? Compliance risks related to subcontractors. Imagine the following scenario. Our project manager needs to subcontract part of the work in order to successfully complete a project and, because the project is behind schedule, chooses a subcontractor recommended by the end customer without assessing any further offers. What the project manager doesn't realize, however, is that the subcontractor has negotiated a bribe or a kickback with the end customer for his successful recommendation. The subcontractor then overcharges the project manager for his services and divides the additional money between himself and the end customer. What can you do to prevent this risk? Be suspicious when subcontractors are recommended without any objective reason, and take your time to think why a subcontractor has been recommended. Always check subcontractors carefully and ask for offers of several suppliers in case of a new subcontractor. Compliance risks related to permits. The project manager finds that a government official has suddenly stopped his project because he does not have the necessary permits. The processing time for the permits is long, the government official says, and for the time being the project manager's project must be put on hold. However, the official adds, for a small fee paid directly to him, the permits can be processed faster. Of course, no receipt will be given for this facilitation payment. What can you do to prevent this risk? Do not pay. Siemens forbids the paying of so-called facilitation payments, which are a bribe. Consider escalating the matter to the official's managing director or higher, in alignment with your general counsel and compliance officer. Compliance risks related to customer decisions. Our project manager agrees that the end customer attends and approves the factory acceptance test. The end customer, however, wants the project manager to cover all travel, lodging, and entertainment costs for him and his family before giving the approval. What can you do to prevent this specific risk? Bribery is illegal, and Siemens Business Conduct Guidelines prohibit the direct or indirect offer, promise or giving of money or anything else of value to government officials or private commercial counterparties in return for an improper advantage. If a customer will only give his approval in return for favors or gifts, consider escalating the matter to the customer's managing director or higher, in alignment with your general counsel and compliance officer. Compliance risks related to scrap material. The project is complete, and a large amount of scrap material is left. A member of the project management team thinks, well, nobody's using it, and sells the scrap material. The sale is never recorded, the money never accounted for. Eventually, the project manager discovers that the scrap material is missing, and later finds out that the money from the sale of the scrap was used for an internal party. What can you do to prevent this specific risk? Be sure to record all transactions, and remember that the minutes of site closure are a mandatory requirement for all projects. Compliance risks can damage your projects, Siemens and you personally. Generally, how can the project manager avoid those risks? Always review the compliance risks of your project with your contract manager and/or commercial project manager. If you suspect any violation of regulations or law, immediately contact your business manager and responsible compliance officer. Always document the incident, including the names of the people involved and the date and place it happened. Always adhere to Siemens Business Conduct Guidelines and follow Siemens internal regulations, like, for example, what to consider when carrying out purchasing and sourcing activities, compliance guideline for facilitation payments, rules for travel and entertainment, and your local scrap material policy. Integrity is the basis of sustainable business.